Auschwitz Camp is the setting for The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. This camp plays a special role in solving the problems the German had with the Jewish population. The most advanced method the German used was the method that took the shortest amount of time and did not draw much attention. When the Jewish first arrived to the camp in special trains, towards the end of the evening, they were driven on tracks to special areas of the camp. Once they arrive, they are unloaded and examined to see if they are fit to work by a team of doctors. The examination is done in front of the camp commandant and by several SS officers. The ones who are fit to work are then taken to a special camp. The ones who are sick and can be cured are sent straight to a medical camp. At this camp, they are cured with help from a special diet. The basic idea the Nazis had was to conserve all the potential manpower for work in the camps. The unfit were sent to cellars. They were told they were going to be cleaned and disinfected for their new assignments. The prisoners had to completely undress and leave their clothes under a numbered stall. They were then sent to a room and killed by deadly gas. During World War II, young Jewish children were murdered in very cruel ways by the Nazis. These murders of these children were the least documented. Many of the children died in mass shootings performed by the Nazis. Some even died from living in the rough ghettos of Eastern Europe. These children who were not able to work were exterminated as soon as they arrived in the death camps. The teenagers who made it through the selection process were often worked to death. In this dark history, some flickers of hope and humanity can be seen in the lives of those few children who were rescued from the clutches of the Nazi regime. For example, the Kinder transports provided safe passage out of continental Europe for approximately 10,000 children. The children who survived the ghettos and death camps found themselves as orphans at the end of the war. Many of these children found it helpful to share their stories of life in the camps. A small portion of this information is included in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is a historical fiction tale of the unlikeliest of friends, the son of a Nazi commander and a Jewish boy in a concentration camp. The novel opens when Bruno and his family has to move from their home in Berlin and move to a new home in an unfamiliar place called Outwith, as Bruno calls it. Bruno is very curious about his new environment, but is told of certain places he couldn't go. Unable to fight his curiosity, he ventures into restricted areas one afternoon. Bruno arrives at a fence that he follows until he sees a boy sitting on the other side of the fence. The boy has no shoes, is wearing striped pajamas, and a cloth cap. Bruno becomes friends with the boy, and they quickly discover they have the same birthday. They begin to talk about where they're from, and Bruno becomes curious as to why there are so many people on Samuel's side of the fence. Bruno continues to enjoy exploring the wood around his house. For the most part, he always seems to find himself at the fence with his new friend. Bruno brings him food, and they always seem to talk about how they cannot play together. They become so close that Samuel shares with Bruno that he does not know where his dad is. Bruno decides to make it his mission to find his dad. One day, Bruno takes off his clothes and puts on the striped pajamas so he will blend in and sneaks over to his friend's side. Will the boys find his father, or will the guard find them first? The Boy in the Striped Pajamas explores a child's innocence in a time of war and the common desire we all have for friendship. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is one of the many books written about the Holocaust, but this book is a little interesting because of the child's point of view. Through death, illness, starvation, and Nazi brutality that is going on right on the other side of the fence, Bruno is able to keep his innocence. Bruno and his family represent what it's like for the families of Nazi soldiers and how they lived. This novel also gives a glance at what life was like for Jewish families as well. It shows the hardship they lived through. To learn more about what it was like to be a Jewish child in a concentration camp, go check out the book The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.